Welcome to the Bulldog State of Mind podcast, brought to you by the Fresno State Staff Assembly Executive Committee. Here are your hosts, Belinda Munoz and Melissa Norris.
Welcome back. Happy 2026, Bulldogs. I feel like it was just yesterday we were at the holiday party, and how fun was that holiday party?
Yes,
we had to keep the Grinch spirit continuing in Whoville here at the Bulldog State of Mind. We're really excited because we get to kind of kick off this new year with something a little extra special. You want to talk a little bit about our first episode?
Yes, we do. So we've got a special episode that we are launching today. And we're so excited about this one because it's with Dr. Sharma, who we've talked about in the past, who's going to start doing our mental health breaks. But she's got this one special episode that we wanted to share out with everyone, and it's on the concept of play. And it's a concept that sometimes we forget to do. I mean, we had a lot of fun and we played a lot at the holiday party.
Yes.
But this is going to be our concept of play and how to really dive into that and remember to have fun no matter what you're doing, whether it's at work or at home. So I hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to Mental Health Breaks, where we talk about strategies to foster mental health and well-being, especially among college students. I am Dr. Gitima Sharma, a professor of counseling and a coach, consultant, and speaker dedicated to fostering a culture of care for oneself and others. Today, we have a very special guest, Dr. Diane Jackson Schnoor, who is an expert in stress management and wellness through play and fostering positive connections. Before I pass on to Dr. Diane Jackson Schnoor, I would love to share her brief bio with you. She is a nationally recognized speaker, educator, and podcast host. Through her workshops, she helps educators connect play, literacy, and engage STEM experiences for joyful learning. Dr. Diane offers 25 plus years of practical knowledge from her work in the classroom as founder of an award-winning preschool, as a museum educator, and a professor at the University of Virginia and Shenandoah University. Curriculum partnerships include Steve Spangler Science, Kessler Science, and Sanguine Consulting. Dr. Diane has presented at many national and regional conferences, including NAEYC, SECA, etc., Association of Children's Museums, the Play Coalition, and Science in the Rockies. Thank you, Diane, for joining us today. Before we dive in, could you please share a bit about your journey and how you became so passionate about the topics of mental health and wellness, specifically among students?
So, play has been a huge part of my journey through education. I discovered early on when I was teaching that play was important. And honestly, I hit rock bottom for myself in terms of having let go of play when I was supposed to be encouraging play the most. I was working as the director of education at a children's museum, and it stopped being fun. I stopped having a good time with play. And that was about the same time that the pandemic hit. And it was during that time that I started thinking, how is it that we as adults give ourselves the permission to play, the space to play, and the opportunity to play to build connections so that we're healthier and can bring our very best into the world, whether we're a professor or a college student. And so I've been doing that work now for many years.
It's so wonderful. And I know that, we come across the word play so often in the context of counseling and therapy as a tool for stress management and fostering mental health. But often when we hear the word play, you know, our notions or stereotypes around the word refer to something that only kids do in their free time, right? So, how do you conceptualize the construct of play, and how does that contribute to people's mental health and well being?
So, one of the things I would encourage you to do as a student is put the word play on a piece of paper and just start thinking about all the different ways that you play. And I'll give you some examples from my own experience. For me, I would add play as things like taking a nature walk, sledding down a hill when it's snowy, laughing with my friends over a book. Play could include doing puzzles. It might include doodling on a piece of paper. Play could be your meditation and reflection time. You're giving your brain a chance to play. It could be exercise, doing a team sport. Play could be as simple as rolling on the floor with a puppy or a kitten. So there are so many different ways to define play. And I think what happens is we get hung up on thinking that I must set 3 hours aside for play. If I'm going to play, I have to really play. And play can be something that you do literally with 5 minutes. You take a brain break, you go play, and you come back. And what happens is you've built your endorphins up, you're feeling happier, and you're better able to focus on the task at hand just by giving yourself permission to stop, take a moment, relax, and come back.
Thank you so much. At our university, I know mid-semester would be soon here. There are so many assignments that students have to engage in, so many exams and tests, right? And then also the socio-political era we are living in often feels like we are not able to feel that sense of joy and that sense of freedom to just enjoy a present moment. So, what advice would you have for students who might be feeling as if they're struggling in isolation due to their long to do list or lack of other support to be able to honor their mental health and well being by engaging, in the activities that you were mentioning?
So, the very first thing I would say is you are not alone. No matter what, know that you aren't on your own. Sometimes it feels like we're isolated, but you're not. There's always somebody who is willing to be in community with you. And I think that that's really important to remember right now, especially in our current political, social climate. It can feel very isolating. And I feel that too. So, playing isn't the band-aid that's going to make everything feel better, but it does give you the tools to be able to face the dark with a different set of skills and without feeling like a constant sense of stress and rage. And that's really important. So, what I would encourage you to do is a couple of things. First off, make yourself a priority. Take the time to set a routine for yourself. Even if it's 5 minutes in the morning, you start with some breathing. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. Maybe take out a journal and journal just a few things. Start with gratitude. Maybe list 5 things that you're grateful for. And they can be ridiculous. Like, it doesn't have to be, I'm grateful for the moon. It could literally be, I am grateful that I have this beautiful green pen that I like to write with. Or the cafeteria is serving my favorite brownie today. Like, you can be grateful for those things. There's always something to be grateful for. The next thing I would say is start building your community, your network of people. And so find at least one other person that you can bounce ideas off of and somebody who's willing to play with you. And there may be multiple people. There may be one person who has a dog. Befriend that person and love up their dog every time you see them on campus. Maybe there's somebody else you notice who likes to do puzzles. Maybe you sit and join them for a puzzle. Set a coffee date. A coffee date can be play. Somebody that maybe you haven't had a chance to talk to. It can be scary to build those connections, but it's really rewarding. So figure out what it is that's going to bring you some joy and mark out just a little bit of time for it and turn it into a habit. We build muscle memory. And so if we can set up a routine that lets us do breathing, reflection, and play, it's going to make a difference in the long run to how you feel in your day to day.
That's so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think for myself too, I really need to honor my own mental health and well-being by just going back to these simple basics, right? Like, engaging in some reflective exercises, forging positive connections, allowing myself to just breathe, So there was recently one of my students who actually had a tattoo, with breathe. And she was sharing so openly in one of our class discussions that there are times when she's feeling anxious and overwhelmed with her long to-do list, specifically as a single mom, doing her best to be able to finish her college degree while also, being able to provide her family financially. And sometimes just a simple reminder of breathe helps her to recenter herself. So sometimes we feel, right, that being able to take care of our mental health and well-being is an extremely daunting task, and we don't have enough time to do that, given everything else we have to accomplish for our career, for our family. But there are these simple tasks that we can engage in day to day if we are just prioritizing the word you used, right? Just prioritize yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the things I've come to realize during the pandemic, I started a habit of taking a daily walk in nature. And you can be living in a city and take a daily walk, and it doesn't have to be a long walk. It could literally be just going around the quad or around the block. For me, I started noticing the trees. And there was something really perspective setting about that for me, because I started realizing that our lifespan is really short compared to the trees. And so I started thinking that we spend all our time going, going, going. And we feel like we have to be fast tracking, we have to be moving fast in order to get ahead. And really, we could take a moment and try to move at the speed of trees. And that's just for me a powerful metaphor that reminds me to slow down and to take that moment to breathe and to know that just because it feels like a crisis today, it's not going to be a crisis tomorrow. And that can also give you that chance to take that step back and breathe and decide that, yes, I can take 5 minutes to play right now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And one thing that I absolutely love about our conversations, Diane, whenever we have opportunities to connect, is how deeply we both value forging positive connections and collaborative relationships that can really honor other person's unique experiences. We both represent different cultural backgrounds. We live in different coasts in America. There's so many, there's so many differences that we can focus on. Yet, when we connect based on our shared humanity and have such meaningful dialogues together. So, what encouragement would you have for students who might be feeling isolated or this inability to connect with others who are different from them, but to really be able to engage in these conversations that respect the dignity of their life and others' life so that they can experience the value of positive connections and do not struggle in isolation?
So I think that is so critical. One of the things that I think we're coming off the pandemic with is a sense of greater isolation. And so it takes being able to be brave and make that first step. And you can use your phone for sure, to reach out to people. I think that sometimes we tend to vilify our technology and say that we have to completely throw it out. And I don't think that you have to. I know that for my own daughters, that's how they communicate with people, not necessarily making a phone call, but through texting and things like that. So start by finding somebody within your texting group that you think maybe you could have a conversation with, and then take it into reality. You could set up a Zoom call with them if you live on opposite coasts, and you could connect that way. If they live locally, maybe you go for a walk. Hey, would you like to go for a walk with me today? Would you be interested in going to get a cup of coffee? And start small. Maybe you set yourself the task of finding one person a week that you want to connect with and build those connections that way. And if you're somebody who maybe connecting by talking isn't your thing, send a postcard. Seriously, it sounds crazy, but you can get postcard stamps at the post office. You can get simple postcards. You could draw and color your own postcards and just send a note to somebody, letting them know that you're thinking about them. And that's going to do a lot to bridge that gap. What I would also recommend is go outside your comfort zone. It's really easy to get yourself caught in your echo chamber where all you're hearing are other people who have the same experiences and the same feelings as you. But as you were just saying, life is so much richer than that. And we're stronger through our diversity, and we're stronger through our differences. And so when we can put ourselves out there and be willing to listen, And that's really key, is you can't go in thinking that you have all the answers, because you don't. Um, but go in being willing to listen and to embrace somebody else's point of view and to ask questions and be curious. If you're coming at it with an open heart, most of the time people will allow you the grace to make mistakes. And that's an important thing, is don't expect other people to be perfect in their communications with you, and you're not going to be perfect with them. But allow yourself, just like when we play, we make mistakes, we fall down, we get back up. Do the same as you're building your empathy muscle, your communication muscle. It's a skill that's going to go with you through life. So I would challenge you to go out and start a conversation with somebody today.
Absolutely. And I genuinely appreciate what you said. It has to start small, like one step at a time, one day at a time, one person at a time, right? Just these communications and conversations that can really strengthen, our humanity and help us to appreciate diversity at even deeper level for our own well-being and our collective well-being. So thank you. So just to conclude, is there, anything that you would like to share in end, like with regard to some resources or any words of encouragement you might have?
I can give you a list of some resources and some people who are really doing cool work with play that might be useful to you, and I would be happy to share those. One of the joys of my life is I do the Adventures in Learning podcast, where I get to have those conversations and I get to talk to really interesting people all over the world. And they share things like the world of play, and they share ideas for how do we read so that we're experiencing windows and mirrors and sliding glass doors, where we're able to read to see ourselves reflected, but also to be able to learn about other cultures and other people. I'm happy to share all of that, as well as additional resources. If you're struggling, I would encourage you to check out NAMI, the National Association of Mental Illness. They have organizations in every state, and they have things specifically geared to college students, with all kinds of groups that are local, with resources that are local, and with coping skills, and it's free. So I would definitely suggest you do that. And then the other one I would definitely suggest take a look at, that has become a favorite of mine. There is a woman named Dr. Erica Buchholz who does yoga laughter. And that would be another resource that if you just need to laugh, go check her out, because she's got some wonderful stuff out there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Diane, for your time today. And thank you, for those who were able to listen in. Please feel free to share this, with your friends who also might be really wanting to prioritize their own mental health and well-being during these critical times. And I wish you the very best. We would love to hear back from you regarding any strategy that you might be engaging in that cultivates your mental health and well-being, and how you might be taking steps to forge some positive collaborations that can honor not just individual well-being but also collective well-being, while genuinely appreciating diversity. Take good care of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Bulldog State of Mind podcast. Join us for the next podcast in our series, released each month during our Red Friday celebration, and available through our Fresno State Staff Assembly Executive Committee YouTube channel.